In this video, we're going to talk about naming ethynes. So let's go over a simple example. How would you name this structure? So notice that we have a double bond. And also notice that we have two carbons. When you have two carbons, that's generally associated with ethane. However, since we have a triple bond, not a double bond, a triple bond, we're going to call it ethyne. If we have a structure with a triple bond like that has 3 carbons in total, it would be prop, which is the general suffix for a 3-carbon chain, and then the Y and E suffix, or prop would be the prefix, and this would be the suffix. If we start to have more carbons in our chain, eventually we're going to have to specify which carbon the double bond is on, or the triple bond is on. When you have more than 3 carbons in your alkyne, here in this situation we have 5 carbons. Do we start counting the carbons right to left, or do we start counting carbons left to right? Because the triple bond is closer to the left side, and we want to give the triple bond the lowest numbers possible, we're going to start counting left to right. The triple bond is in between carbon number 2 and carbon number 3. However, we're going to go with carbon number 2 because it's lower. So it's going to be 2, and then we have 5 carbons, which would be pent, and then the Y and E suffix would come after. So 2-pentyne. All right. Next, let's go over an example where we have how would you name this compound? Now, notice that we have to find the longest chain that includes the triple bond. If we start at the right side and start counting all the carbons across the triple bond are going to have a 3 and a 4. If we go from left to right and start counting the carbons across the triple bond are going to have a 4 and a 5. We want the lowest numbers possible, so we're going to count with the red numbers. In this case, you would get hept as our prefix for the parent chain name because we have 7 carbons, and then Y and E would follow as the suffix for an alkyne. Afterward, we want to see which carbons the triple bond is across. It's across 3 and 4. We're going to go with 3 because it's lower than 4. So 3-heptyne. Notice that we have one substituent, which is this carbon right here, this methyl group. That one is on position number 2. So we're going to call it 2-methyl-3-heptyne. How would we name this compound? First, you have to find the longest chain of carbons. You can count either this way, or this way, or you can count this way. Either way, the triple bond is going to be on the same number of carbons. However, this fluorine would be on the lowest numbers if we start counting left to right. So that's the way we're going to count it. The triple bond is going to be across carbon number 3 and 4. So we're going to go with the 3, and then we have 6 carbons in total, which would be hept, actually it would be hex. and then hexyne would be the name of this alkyne. But we have two substituent. We have a methyl on carbon 5, which would be 5-methyl. And we also have a fluorine on carbon 2. So that's a 2-fluoro. Since F comes before M in the alphabet, we're going to put the fluoro first. So 2-fluoro, 5-methyl, 3-hexyne. Now let's talk about a pretty long looking structure. How do you name this compound? So first of all, we have to number the carbons. We're going to go right to left because that would give the triple bond carbons the lowest numbers possible. As you can see, we have 8 carbons in total, which would be associated with decane. However, we're going to put the dec, and then I'm going to put a deca. But since we have 2 triple bonds in this compound, we're going to call it decadiene, or diene, as I should say. Now notice that they are on carbons 2 and carbon 5. So it's going to be a 2,5-decadiene.